Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever been sitting across from a woman, maybe at dinner, maybe just on a couch watching a movie, and you felt something in the air, this invisible electricity, but you had absolutely no idea if it was real or if you were just imagining it? Now you second guessed yourself. You told yourself, doll, I don't make it weird. Don't misread this. Don't be that guy. And so you did nothing. You stayed frozen. And then the moment passed, and maybe she never came back around, and weeks later you're lying in bed at 2 a.m. thinking, was that actually a sign? Yeah, I know that feeling, and I want to talk about it today. Because here's what nobody is actually teaching men, and honestly, what nobody's teaching women either, about the real signals of desire. Not the fake Hollywood stuff. Not the dramatic movie moment where she grabs your face and kisses you. I'm talking about real, subtle, deeply human signals that women send when they feel safe enough, attracted enough, and ready enough to want something more with you. And most men miss them entirely. Not because they're stupid, but because they were never taught to see them. So, today we're going in. We're going deep. I'm going to break down 3 of the most clear, most real signs that a woman wants intimacy with you. And I mean emotional intimacy, physical closeness, the whole spectrum, and I'm going to show you exactly what's happening in her psychology when these signs show up. And then, most importantly, I'm going to tell you what to do about it, because knowing the signs without knowing how to respond is like having a map and still getting lost. Stay with me. This is going to change how you see everything. Most men have been trained to look for signs that are way too obvious. They're waiting for the green light that screams go. They want her to practically hand them a written invitation, and when that crystal clear, undeniable sign doesn't come, they assume there's no interest. They retreat, they disappear, they start swiping on apps again, wondering what's wrong with them. But here's the thing about women and desire. It's not a light switch, it's a dimmer. It builds slowly, it gets tested, it gets expressed in ways that are layered, nuanced, and sometimes completely unconscious on her part too. She might not even realize she's sending signals. She just knows. She feels good around you. She knows she wants to be near you. She knows that when you leave, there's a little ache that wasn't there before. And if you're not paying attention, if you're looking for the obvious instead of the real, you'll walk right past the most important moments of your life. There's also another side to this, and I want to name it because it's real. Some men have been burned, they thought they saw signals before, and they acted on them, and it blew up. So now they overcompensate in the other direction. They become so afraid of misreading things that they become passive, invisible, emotionally shut down, and that shutdown actually kills the attraction that was building. We're going to fix both problems today. We're going to sharpen your perception and give you the confidence to act with emotional intelligence. The first sign is that she finds reasons to touch you that don't need to exist. I want you to pay close attention here because this is subtle, but it is one of the most powerful signals in human communication. When a woman is not interested, she maintains distance, unconsciously, automatically. She doesn't think about it. Her body just protects that space. But when attraction is building, when there's something she wants, her body starts closing that distance without her permission. It shows up in small ways. She adjusts your collar even though it didn't really need adjusting. She touches your arm when she laughs. She bumps her shoulder into yours when you're walking. She reaches across you to grab something she could have reached another way. None of these things are accidents. They are her nervous system creating connection through physical proximity. Now here's where it gets interesting psychologically. Touch is a test. When a woman touches you lightly and then watches, even for a fraction of a second, how you respond, she's reading you. She's asking, are you safe? Are you present? Are you confident enough to receive this without making it weird? Your response in that micro moment tells her everything. If you flinch, pull back, or get awkward and over-explain something, she reads it as discomfort. The door closes a little, but if you stay warm, stay present, maybe lean slightly into it, maybe smile with your eyes, she feels seen, she feels safe, and she'll keep moving towards you. I worked with a man once, I'll call him Daniel, who kept telling me that he and this woman had great chemistry, but nothing was ever progressing. I asked him to walk me through their last interaction in detail, and he described a moment where she had reached over and brushed something off his jacket, just a tiny thing. He had laughed nervously and said, "Oh, sorry, I'm a mess," and then changed the subject. That was the moment. She was testing the water, and, his nervous deflection told her the water wasn't warm enough yet, not because he didn't want her, but because he didn't know how to receive her. So, the lesson is this: when she creates unnecessary touch, your job is not to perform attraction. Your job is to be present, be warm, and hold the moment without running from it. The second sign is that she starts telling you things she doesn't tell other people. This one is less physical, but it might actually be more important because intimacy, real intimacy, and begins in the emotional layer before it ever reaches the physical. And when a woman starts trusting you with the parts of herself she usually keeps hidden, that is not small, that is enormous. Watch for the shift in conversation. Early on, everything is surface, weekends, work, mutual friends, light jokes, but at some point, if she's developing real feelings, the conversation changes texture. She tells you about the fight she had with her sister that she hasn't told anyone about. She mentions something from her childhood that just came up kind of casually, but it wasn't casual at all. She confesses a fear, a dream, an embarrassing story that she laughs about, but that actually hurt her once. She is letting you in. And here's the female psychology piece that most men don't understand. For a woman, emotional vulnerability is almost always a prerequisite to physical vulnerability. She will rarely want physical intimacy with someone she doesn't feel emotionally safe with. It's not a rule she made up, it's wiring, it's chemistry. When she trusts you with her story, her body begins to associate you with safety, and safety is the foundation of desire. The mistake men make here is that they don't realize what's happening in real time. She shares something vulnerable, and he gives a surface response. "Oh, that's rough. Yeah," and moves on. Or worse, he jumps straight into problem solving. Well, you should probably just talk to her. And completely misses the moment. She wasn't asking for a solution, she was offering you a door. The right response when she shares something real is to walk through that door with her. Stay in it. Ask a genuine question. Reflect something back. Let her feel that what she said actually landed somewhere in you. Because when she sees that her vulnerability was met with presence instead of deflection, everything changes. She feels chosen. She feels safe. And that safety, that is where desire lives. The third sign is that she starts engineering situations to be alone with you. This one is maybe the clearest of the three, and yet men still miss it because they rationalize it away. She suggests you both go for a walk since the party is kind of loud. She asks if you want to come help her with something at her place even though she doesn't really need help. She texts you late at night with something that isn't urgent, but that gives you a reason to keep talking. She suggests a plan that is specifically, structurally, just the two of you. Not a group hangout, not a casual thing with friends. Just you and her. This is deliberate. Even when it looks casual, it is deliberate. Women do not accidentally create alone time with people they feel neutral about. She is choreographing the conditions for something to happen. She is removing the obstacles, the noise, the friends, the distractions, because something in her wants to see what the space between you two feels like when nothing else is filling it. And here is the thing I need you to really understand about this sign. It requires courage from her. Inviting someone into alone time is a vulnerable act. She is putting herself out there in a quiet, socially deniable way because if you don't respond to it, she can tell herself it was nothing. It was just a walk. It was just coffee. She protected herself with plausibility, but she still showed up. She still tried. When she does this, your job is to be worth the risk she took. Be present. Be real. Be the person she was hoping you'd be when she was lying awake imagining this moment. Don't fill every silence with noise. Don't perform. Don't make it mechanical. Just be there fully and let the moment breathe. Now, let's talk about what to actually do with all of this, because signs are useless if you freeze up the moment you see them. The first thing you need to do is slow down and observe before you react. Most missed moments happen because a man is too in his head rehearsing what to say, worrying about how he looks to actually notice what's in front of him. Practice presence. When you're with her, be with her. Notice her body language. Notice how close she's standing. Notice the moments where she lingers a little longer than the conversation required. The second thing is to respond to her signals with warmth, not urgency. The worst thing you can do when you notice a sign is to suddenly become performative. She'll feel it. Women have finely tuned radar for when energy shifts into he's trying to close the deal mode, and it breaks the spell immediately. Instead, match her energy and deepen it gently. A little more warmth, a little more eye contact, a little more intention in how you listen. The third thing is to create your own moments of depth. You don't just wait for her to open up, you lead. Share something real about yourself. Ask a question that goes beneath the surface. Be the person who makes the conversation feel like something different from all the other small talk she's had this week. When you do that, you give her permission to be real too. And the fourth thing, and this is the most important, is to act with gentleness, but act. At some point, you have to stop analyzing and move. Not push, not force, but lean in, literally or figuratively. Say something honest, create the moment, instead of waiting for it to appear fully formed. I really like spending time with you is not a performance. It's the truth. And truth spoken with calm confidence is magnetic. Here's what I want you to feel right now. Not just know, but feel. You are not bad at reading people because you're broken. You were never taught this. Nobody sat you down and explained female psychology. Nobody told you that for most women, desire is a slow bloom that needs emotional warmth, felt safety, and genuine presence to open. You learned about attraction from movies, from locker rooms, from media that made it seem like a game to be won, and that's not your fault. But now you know differently, and knowing differently means you can do differently. The man who understands these signs isn't the man who gains women or manipulates situations. He's the man who shows up with enough emotional intelligence and enough confidence to actually receive what she's offering. He's the man who makes her feel seen at the exact moment she's hoping to be seen. That man is not rare, but he is uncommon enough that when a woman finds him, she doesn't want to let go. That can be you. Not the performed version, the version. So, the next time you're sitting across from someone who matters and you feel that electricity in the air, don't run from it. Don't rationalize it away. Don't convince yourself you're imagining things. Look at her hands. Listen to what she's choosing to tell you. Notice whether she keeps finding reasons to stay close. And then, be brave enough to meet her there. Because the most beautiful moments in every human story start with someone choosing to stop waiting and simply show up. That's where love begins. Not in the grand gesture, not in the perfect line. In the moment one person was present enough, courageous enough, and real enough to see what was already there. Don't miss yours.